Hey yo, it's me, Miss B. You tuned in to Direct Doses, and today I want to talk about boundaries and how important boundaries are. Uh, I know we hear people talk about it a lot, and it's kind of become this buzzword, but I'm a firm believer in boundaries. I believe in boundaries in both a professional aspect and a personal aspect. It's important to respect other people's boundaries and not just expect your boundaries to be respected. And when I talk about boundaries, I mean, if I tell you no to something, my no's are usually complete sentences for the most part. And if you violate my no, you've disrespected a boundary. For example, you asked me to come over my house. This can be anybody, not just any particular person. I tell you no. You show up anyway. You violated a boundary. Let me make it even more simple. We go somewhere. I tell you, you know what? I'm not comfortable seeing, let's say we go to the movies. And at the movies, we get there, we plan to see a movie. Suddenly, at the last minute, you change your mind. And the genre that we had planned to watch, now you don't want to watch that. Now you want to watch a different genre that I may have explicitly mentioned previously that I'm not interested in for whatever reason. And then you walk away and you go and buy the movie tickets anyway. That's disrespecting someone's boundary. Or I'll give you another example. I've had a situation where um I've had someone come to me to tell me about something personal that may be going on, right? And it's one of those things where we're not friends, more of acquaintances. And I have this thing. I'm an empath. I have a tendency, I learned about myself a while ago that I can take on other people's problems. And that's something I've worked on. And I've learned where my boundaries lie when it comes to that. And so I handle it a particular way. So I had someone who was an acquaintance, and they would constantly want to tell me about their relationship issues. And I always shut it down. Why? Because we're not friends. I've heard your issue. You know where I messed up? I violated my own boundary by listening that first time. Actually, no. I violated my own boundary because I listened to it the first time. The person came to me about it a second time and then brought me the same story the third time. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me two times, shame on me. Fool me three times, I'm just a goddamn fool. And I had to learn that I violated my own boundary with that third time because the person started to feel like it was okay to divulge this information. And I eventually got to a point where I would say, I don't want to talk about your relationship. It seems like you come to me about the same thing and you still seem to be in the same boat, like you're dealing with the same issue all of the time. So I set the boundary of, I don't want to talk to you about this anymore. And I would always say, if you want to talk about yourself and self development, I'm here for that. But I'm not here for your relationship issues, especially you are not a friend. And I don't throw around that word friend very loosely. I am very selective. Um, and I feel that this is just the way I need to be. How you are is up to you. I feel that I need to be selective in who I choose to have around me, because you learn that people don't always have the best intentions. And as someone who can be very trusting, well, let me correct that. As someone who has been very trusting in the past and who's been burned by that, I had to learn from my own mistakes. So I don't put the blame on anyone else for that. That was my own decision. But with that, I've had to learn to set boundaries with people. And setting boundaries has suited me very well. And what I want to say about boundaries is people are not always going to respect your boundaries. You may lose people once you set your boundaries, but you have to be okay with the fact that I set this boundary because it makes me function in the way that I would prefer to function. I feel like a better person for myself when I set boundaries. I feel like a better person for myself when I enforce and respect my own boundaries. All in all, to say, don't ever be afraid to set boundaries with people. But also remember, you need to learn to respect your own boundaries and uphold your own boundaries if you expect anyone else, or if you want anyone else to even begin to respect yours. Because when people see you disrespect yourself, for the most part, they'll hop right on that train with you. So, with that being said, I hope your takeaway is to set boundaries, respect and enforce your boundaries, and learn when to walk away when others refuse to respect your boundaries. And also respect other people's boundaries, because it's not just about you. If someone tells you, I didn't like that, or you disrespected a boundary that I have, take heed instead of offense. Because you never know what walk of where someone's coming from, what they may have experienced, the reason why they may have set that boundary. You never know. So, anyways, I thank you for tuning in to Direct Doses, and I will see you next time. Bye.